no one's above the law.
If the law of the land is Islamic, we respect the law of the land.
What if it's not Islamic?
If it's not Islamic, then the law of the land and those who make it can go to hell, quite honestly.
We're going to be talking about Islam. We said if the law of the land is not Islam, that law should go to hell.
Well, I'll tell you this for free. When you come to talk about Islam, there is this fear that is around it. And it makes me wonder, Allah cares for everybody.
Yes.
Is this a two-faced God? In my opinion, religion is like man in search of God. Now, I'm an African spiritualist. African spiritualism, there was a time that it was so barbaric when Christianity came, and today there are laws that have been abolished totally. This is not the way of practice anymore. That is religion.
Let me say this. But my point is, and I've heard severally them saying they don't want to take part, they want to take over.
Like I said, we're not here to take part, we're here to take over.
And finally, for all those who are saying, oh, we have to be careful before the country, before we get into a crisis, please wake up. We're living with banditry, with Boko Haram, with incite, and you're still saying that there will be a problem. What are we waiting for now? We are already there. We are already in crisis. So please, let's stop saying, oh, let us stop before. No, it has already happened. The question is, how do we get out of this situation? I'm going to keep quiet because if I speak for 5 more minutes, there'll be a very bad headline. Thank you very much.
Good day, guys. In Miami, people. This is God X David Discord, and my name is Ogan David, as usual, the Emperor, an entrepreneur, and here with me is my brother.
What's up, what's up, what's up? You know, energy high, my people. It's another day in God X David Discord, and it's your favorite warrior boy in Miami. And we are live. It's another amazing section. Just before we break the ice, let's go for a quick commercial break, people. Make sure I don't forget to, I just dropped song. I dropped Serenade EP with my brother Timer Valentino. It's out in all platforms. You can go stream, go support your boy, go show some love.
Alright, you guys just heard Ibayani. He just released an album. I beg, make una go stream that album. It's very important.
I beg.
What I would love us to do today, the conversation today is on a subject I know you really want us to talk about. But I need to establish first to our audience that it shouldn't be taken out of context. It shouldn't be perceived as hatred towards anyone. Nobody should pick offense out of it. And we also are not going to be emotional about it. So before I bring up the topic, what we're going to be talking about, I would love us to view this together with our audience.
We have had some incredibly radical imams, perhaps the most famous of whom is Chowdhury.
So we will be talking about a pressing topic everybody is curious to, but I don't want us to, like I said, to be emotional about it and nobody should pick offense. So we're going to be talking about Islam. When we're talking about Islam, is on a broader level, not with what is happening, the killings and all that. We're talking about Islam from the root, how they, not just the radical Islam, how the entire Muslims see their religion. If you heard this guy, he said, if the law of the land is not Islam, that law should go to hell. And this is an imam in UK. You get me? And you see how they perceive their religion, how they take their religion. What do you think of a religion that hardly want to assimilate or be part of, a culture or another law that is not Islamic law?
My brother, man, this is really a very cumbersome topic. Like, it's huge, it's big, man, because when we talk about Christianity, we talk about people are kind of free to talk about Christianity. People question pastors. We've been able to muster out boldness out of the superstitions of religions to talk about Christians.
Yes. Yes.
But I'll tell you this for free. When you come to talk about Islam, there is this fear
Yes.
that is around it. And it makes me wonder.
That's
It makes me wonder. But let's say the truth. Let's call a spade a spade. Why would a loving God, the supreme maker of the whole universe, the Jehovah, the Allah, so full of love? Because I've discussed, I've had conversations with some Muslims, and they paint this higher power with so much love. Allah cares for everybody.
Yes.
Allah loves everybody. Allah loves the poor. Allah loves the voiceless. Allah loves the needy. Why would Allah be so inconsiderate? Why would Allah be so unkind in another way? Why would Allah be so, let me use the word, wicked? Why would Allah be so inhuman in another way? Is this a two-faced God?
Okay.
Now, we also have to understand as human beings, in my opinion, I think that we should understand that life came first. The world, the earth came first before human existence.
Yes.
The firmament above all, the ground beneath us, the water that gives life, that nourishes the body, the trees, everything, life came first before human. And we came to find ourselves in this life. Now, we all came first. The breath of life came first before the interpretation of the mind. We first breathed before we started thinking. First took breath. So the life is important. Now, where I'm driving to is the fact that before we started thinking, before we started making laws, knowing what is good from evil, let us consider the value of each of our lives. Now, we made laws, we found religion. Religion is like man in search of God. Whatever customs we have seen right, I will say this. Let me draw inspiration from. I was raised in the Christian home. Christ, they said, word made flesh. It was never a spirit when he came. He became flesh. He dwelled among men. And he made the laws that we had. Same as Muhammad. Muhammad was a human here on earth, a prophet, like they call him. And he made the laws. This is to say that life has been here. Things have been happening before these great prophets came. So we that are the followers, the disciples of these prophets, we should not act as if these laws existed before human. We should be human in whatever we do. Now, I'm an African spiritualist. enthusiast in the African spiritualist. I've always said that the African spiritualism, there was a time that it was so barbaric, it was so cannibalistic, it was so inhuman. But right now in the world today, African spiritualism has gone through a lot of evolution. When Christianity came, it went through some refinement, and today there are laws that have been abolished totally.
Yes.
There are some things that has been cancelled. This is not the way of practice anymore. That is religion, and the African religion. And I'm of the opinion that every religion should go down this process. Yes, every religion should go down this process of refinement. Whatever thing we no be human, that does not uphold humanity first. Humanity is the greatest religion. Whatever thing that does not uphold humanity first should be evaluated. They should check it out. We should redecide on it. So if there is a law in the land, like the man in the video is saying, any law in the land that is not Islam, that law should go to hell. What if is the law of the land that has kept people peaceful? What is if the law of the land has kept the people? Then you as an Islam, you come into that land and you are not conforming to that law that has kept people peaceful in that land. Should that law go to hell because you are an Islam? Forgetting that there are human, that law is what has kept the human, that has promoted humanness. I don't know if I'm making sense.
I get you.
So I think it's too extreme for us, for somebody, a human being, to take religion to that point. That's my opinion, I think.
So everything you said, it is very important. But at the same time, we have extreme Muslims, we have radical Islamists, the jihadists, and what they represent, they also got it from the Quran. You get me? And first of all, let me say this: when I started laundry business, the first customers I had were Muslims.
True.
You get me? Like,
you know that
we have peaceful Muslims. Like the Alaji Ilyasu. I'm very close to him. There are times he travels, he brings back yam for me. We're very close. I will never forget Abdulaziz. He's in Ghana now. That guy supported my business. He brought customers. He took my business as if it was his. From when he was at presidential here, he was taking clothes, recommending me severally.
Yeah.
I could go on and on. I have a very good relationship with these people. Then I don't have any issue with the people.
True.
If we want to pick offense in the Quran, you can as well do that with the Bible. I've said this before, and
that's what we are saying, man.
Yeah, and I'm going to say it again. God told David, God told Samuel during the time Samuel told Saul, go kill these people, kill babies and others.
Yeah.
Muhammad went to war, and there are, like you said, with humanity, God made earth before he made humans, and I understand he made nature before he made humans, and I understand the power of what you said. But my point is, if a group, like you said, there should be refinement. Everything you said, I understand. But if a group feels they don't need to assimilate, and let me give you a definition of assimilate: adopt the cultural characteristics of another group. We can obviously look at Christianity and Islam. One group, which is Islam, do not assimilate everywhere they go. And for me, I won't say it is bad, but this brings upon, something else that you can understand. Oh, these people don't want to take part. And I've heard severally them saying they don't want to take part, they want to take over.
Okay, you know the other argument is, oh, but okay, so if you don't like it here, go to your own country.
But why would we do that when our forefathers were instrumental in rebuilding this country after World War II? It was our grandfathers who worked in the factories 20 hours. It was our grandfathers who came here and run the infrastructure. It was our grandfathers who bought you the lovely curry, which is your national dish. So how can you tell us to go? We're not going nowhere. We are here to stay. Like I said, we're not here to take part. We're here to take over.
They don't want you in your land. You get me? Like I said, they are radical.
They don't want you in your land. It's a big problem. Now, sorry to cut you.
Okay.
My father used to say, "Thought have wings, they fly."
Yeah.
I don't want this to fly. Now it's a big problem. During those days in school, we know that one characteristics of a human being in biology is adaptation. Yes, a human being adapts to his or her environment. Even the plant, if the weather is very hot, the plant adapts, find a way to, sustain its life on a hot environment. When it's cold, that is why when it's summer, everything, all the trees don't just die off. Even though they wither, they lose their leaves. But when it's raining, when it rains, they regain their leaves. That is adaptation. Now, if a religion will make you lose that characteristics of a human being, either to promote coexistence, to promote harmony, then that particular ideology in that religion should be refined. I think the world is growing fast. The world is growing, and I don't know. I used to wonder where it is growing from, because the human being that claims to be a modern man is still very, very archaic in reasoning. Sometimes I'm still studying and I'm still looking where the world is growing from. Is it that the world is only growing from gadgets? Is it that the world is developing just only from gadgets, technology, innovation? Is it that only the scientists are the ones growing? Is it that the thinking pattern of man is one-sided? Because I wonder how we are growing in innovations and we are not growing in humanness. Are we losing in one side? I wonder.
The world, you're right, but something I always won't forget is the fact that humans will always be selfish and greedy. In any sphere of life, people will always pick their personal gain. So the more people grow to leadership position, power, their interest is paramount. So it is also in the religion. But like you said, there should be refinement in this, but I find it fascinating that we tend not to significantly look at areas where people come to your place, your tribe, your city, your home, and they don't, want to be part. They don't want to worship in your church.
Yeah.
I remember I played a video. I don't know if it was you, but Matthew Achiolo probably will attach that to this video, where he said he was in the military camp at the time, where the Muslims in the north were killing the Igbos, and they were screaming, "Tawaya, Tawaya, our eyes are open."
Let me give my responsive background. I was born in 1952 in Zaria. I was born in the military barracks. I grew up in Kaduna, Zaria, Kaduna, Kano. So my answer does not come out of just newspaper, but experience. The first riot I ever experienced, with all due respect, was against people from the East. I was there during the Zaria riots when your crime was that you were Igbo. They didn't tell me, I saw it. People were being killed right before my eyes. My dad was a soldier trying to prevent it. And I remember the man coming back with a deep dent in his military helmet as the guys were screaming and walking the roads of Zaria and screaming, Tawaye. Tawaye means our eyes have opened. Following the first coup by Kaduna and Zogu, they felt their eyes had opened. So there certainly was genocide because people were being dragged out of their house and killed.
They don't want you to change them. They want to come and change you. And it is historical. When I was doing this research from Mecca, how Islam started, modern day Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Just like Christianity, people that were benefiting during that time in their idols or their religious activities during those times also protested. They persecuted Islam. They went through, but he was not like Christ. Prophet Muhammad, he was a spiritual leader, a political leader, and a military leader. So they went to war. So Islam was founded through bloodshed. I tell people, a practicing Islam will kill, just like a practicing Jews will kill. Christians are soft targets. For me, the fact that you gave me the Bible, the fact that I have the Bible, and I'm also seeing the Old Testament, and you're telling me if I have to do the entire counsel of God, then there are things there that I feel I should incorporate in my life. I'm not a Christian per the righteous church person. I pick, lessons from the Bible, incorporate it in my life, live with it. So one of them is like David going to war, defending himself. If you read,
defending his people.
Yes, defending his people too. If you read the Bible, you see these things. We don't need to go on and on. And I want it to be a very interactive, conversation where our audience also will comment and say, okay, what are the proofs that these people are not assimilating? Because I said that.
Yeah.
And one of them is the fact that they don't perform your tradition. I don't want to call religion because they have their own religion. They don't come and perform your own traditional or cultural beliefs. You see the difference
in a community that
yes,
they are hosted, they are received as guests.
These are proofs that we don't take significantly. I don't want to, start because people feel I am far-fetched. I want to make people scared about no. That's not my goal. That's not our goal. That's not the reason we're doing this. We want people to be informed that there is a historical connection to this religion. Most Islams don't know. But the truth is, you ask some questions. Islam is also divided, Sunni and Shia. You ask some questions, you ask these people, they are not willing, except you have a friend that is a Muslim that can tell you a lot that you don't know about Islam. But I know there is a strong, conviction that these people have, and you can't refute it. It's irrefutable. It is there. You don't stand, and they are the majorities, bro. You look Nigeria, they are the majorities. What do you think we need to do? What do you think we need to do? Because they are outgrowing us in our communities. We are leaving our communities to find greener pasture in cities, but they are living better in our communities. I went to Okrika and I saw it. Every 10 people you pass, you see like every 10 people that pass You when there are few days ago, every 10 persons, you see 6 to 7 Muslims in Africa, and it's crazy. Like if you follow history, sorry, I'll allow you speak. If you follow history, Iran was Assyrian, Persians, and different Chaldeans, but today they became majority, outnumbered everybody, started persecuting. They might not use the jihad style, Islam, Boko Haram, Fulani. They might not use that, but they will overpopulate your place. They will buy your lands, overpopulate. You become uncomfortable. They'll make you uncomfortable. You might want to live there, and boom, you don't have any inheritance again. So what do you think we need to do? Because that's the style. You know, Islam is the fastest growing religion. You can Google that. Don't use ChatGPT. Google it. Islam is the fastest growing religion in the world. Type one religion is the fastest growing religion in the world. You see it. Even in Africa, I make nobody want you, bro. Islam is the fastest growing religion in the world, even in Africa. So, bro, what do you think we need to do?
Man, this is hard as it is. And our reason for speaking out is because we have a voice, and you too have a voice. This calls for caution, this calls for action, this calls for consciousness. This is a conscious moment. This is a conscious, a desperate time. You've said a whole lot, and I wouldn't want to water down what you said. Let it be there. But like you asked, what do we do? First of all, knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. Do you know this? You that is watching right now, as a Christian, do you know this? Do you know that Islam is the fastest growing religion in the world? Are you just a praying Christian? How are you walking your faith as a Christian? No, let's come off the side. You know, when we started, you know, when we were talking about, I first of all pointed out peace and humanness.
Yes.
And that is where we are also standing,
Yes,
even while
yes.
we are making this point that is very obvious. And we said earlier, we are not going to be very emotional. We are not going to be emotional about it. We are going to state the obvious fact, the reality that is facing all of us.
Yes.
And let's come out of delusion. All our people, let's come out of delusion, peace delusion, because right now we are not peaceful.
No.
This is people that does not want to adapt to our own peaceful way of life. Yes, we have things in the Bible, David going to war, but I have never seen a Christian in my place that has fought in the name of Jesus Christ. I have never seen. Please, if you have seen, just let me know. Because I have never seen.
No.
I've never seen a Christian that went out and daggered somebody in the name of Jesus Christ.
Yes.
I've never seen. But I've seen somebody that has daggered somebody, burned people alive because in the name of Muhammad or in the name of Allah Akbar. Now, this is still very, very inhuman. And I'm still saying, and we are still saying that this is inhuman. And this cannot be coming from a God that seems that they painted kind in some way.
Yes.
This God is very crude and cruel. This God is very cruel. And this can't be our God. So if you are a Christian, this is the time for you to step up your faith. And we should fight in the stand that we want to bring humanness, harmony, and peaceful coexistence. We have to stand our ground and protest. I will always say, I was raised in a Christian home and I'm an African religious spiritualist enthusiast. I believe in African spirituality. Yes, I believe in African spirituality. And I'm calling out every of Allah because this is a time to be aware of what we are doing, to be knowledgeable, know that this is what is happening. These people have basically they are in every strategic positions of our land.
Bro.
They are in everywhere, every household, the entrance to your city, the entrance to your house, your compound. When they lock you out, you are out in your building where you have your heaven, your safe spot. They are in every strategic places, and these are people that does not agree with the rudiments of your land, the rudiments of your peace. We need to question this.
Yes. Yes.
We need to know this. We need to check it. We need to decide on it.
And they are growing, bro.
And they are growing. Now, if you are a Muslim hearing me, and you are a good Muslim, because we know there are good Muslims.
Yes, yes, yes.
Like I said, I've had a friend too, like you're saying. I had a friend that told me that was expressing the ills that he saw in his religion as an Islam, and he doesn't like it. I was like, wow, this is not a, in as much as it's not general. I think there are individuals, there are people that are seeing these errors. Like as I am, I was a Christian until I saw some errors and I said, no, I need to go back to my roots. Today, I'm a strong African spiritualist enthusiast. I've said it many times. Now, if you are a peaceful Muslim, if you are a good Muslim that is watching this, what do you think? Is it the right practice? What your people are doing? Is it the right thing? So back to the question you asked, this is time for our people to rise, to be knowledgeable, and to act on it. Because if you are still delusional that we are in a peaceful time, everything is peaceful, this is the time for you to pray, you are lying, and you might as well unalive yourself in no time. Because this is not a joke. These people are coming to take over. They are not coming to assimilate. They said it. They told you, we are not coming to join you. We are coming to take you. So you that is still praying, know that you are close to your doom. You that is still trying to feel like Jesus Christ preached peace, know that Jesus Christ is in heaven, preparing the place that you think he's preparing for you, and you are here ready to meet him untimely. You will meet him untimely if you are not ready to face the obvious fact that there is a conflict that we need to settle.
It is coming.
Knowledge is power.
What you said is powerful, and the fact that you are emphasizing on knowledge, because we have a generation, we're in an era of keyboard warriors.
Yeah.
Keyboard warriors.
Now something is happening in Nigeria today. Everybody's making joke out of it.
Bro.
This is a religious war.
Bro.
It's a religious war as much as it's a tribal war.
Bro, so can I say this?
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's all right.
Look at Israel. Christianity, Christ was from Israel. Christianity started from Israel. They are the only different religion in the Middle East, and they have been fighting not just Gaza, Iran, Iraq, Egypt, Syria. They've been fighting all these nations. Guys, make me wake up. I'm not saying anybody, we're not promoting violence. We always say we don't promote violence in this channel.
Now let me also say this. Okay. What you said. I want to use this opportunity to call on the attention or the awakening of our people, the African society, the paramount rulers, the kings of the land, the monarchs of each land, our people. Before now, wars has been part of human race.
Yes.
Wars has been part of human race.
It's a culture. War is a culture.
It's been culture, and you cannot find peace where there was no war.
Yes.
So wars has been part of human race. Before now, I've been looking out for when this is, because this is prevailing right now in our society, in our country right now. It's so strong. I've not heard where a community has risen to say, let's form a cult group. I mean, a traditional cult group, wrestlers, warriors, to protect our people. Let's form a defense corps, a defense army. We have not had this.
And it was there years back.
It was there years back. Traditionally, when people come to take over your land, Those days,
Warriors.
we read it. In the Oyo empires, they had defense system. We've not had. Now, if you people are doing this secretly, why is it that the information are not getting to the young ones that will fight? Even the old people who will fight the fight.
Bro. You know,
so because we have not heard it means that it's not happening. It's not happening. We are men, the Royal Highnesses. Are you people aware that these people, they don't even recognize, right? I will say this, that they don't recognize African religion.
They don't recognize any religion, any culture, any law. They can even kill. The 2014, Google it, they killed an emir. They don't really send who you be. They don't massacre pastors where they don't buy where. Let's wake up. I was talking to somebody yesterday. No, Jesus said Allah, God made Allah. He don't enter any go.
See, he go there for where you dey talk say. He go Jesus Christ. He go meet am there. If you reach there yourself, Baba never build the mansion finish.
We don't even need go there.
He go there early. This one for joke's sake. Somebody talk say he go heaven, and the place when he go. In mansion they see the builder. See, if you buy early, go there now, they never finish your mansion, you go there outside rain, they beat you. So let's wait. While we wait for our master, where they prepare the place for us, you need to hold this ground where he don't give you. See, we need to wake up. Knowledge is power. We need to know. Go and make research. Why you laugh on TikTok? Go and make jokes with it. Go and make research and know that this is a war. This is a war, bro. Our people talk say, "Mfuka maya na oganya son amaya nomve obaro ochele," means that there was an old adage that when one tribe in our place called Mfuka, our tribe is the Odegu. Odegu used to say that if Mfuka, brings the act of war of coming to fight them at night, they will also devise an act of war of not letting their legs, their feet touch the ground while attacking. This is the act of war of our traditional people. Now, this is like an adage. It simply means cautiousness. It simply means that if our people need to know what is happening, we need to be aware. When we are aware, then we will devise solutions. We are not supporting violence. We are not saying we should be violent about it. But we should be aware and we should find an alternative way to solve this problem.
Beautiful, bro. Beautiful. To add on to what you are saying, I go beg. I can even get on my knees to tell people, everybody, gonna get phones, even if not button phone, just convert that your warrior, keyboard warriors, convert it to research warriors. Just take out an hour to make historical connection of everything that is going on. You can see what US have, they done the tackle them now, and they are beginning to find out Somalia. It's current. You can check it in Somalia. They've been stealing from United States and sending it to Al-Shabaab, an Islamic jihadist group, terrorist group there. Bro, this is serious, man. It is in the Quran that Islam will prevail above all other religions. And they said Allah will do it. I don't like when...
And funny enough, these people are not waiting for Allah to do it. They are doing it themselves.
No, the funny part? Yeah. I called the Google. How did Allah say he will do it? They said the Quran didn't state it. So them now know they vote for Allah to miraculously do it. Just the way pastors, I don't have issues. I learn from ministers. You know me, I learn massively, randomly. But the way ministers don't communicate that, when I found out that Christianity is not the fastest growing religion and it's Islam, I start to pity for the church.
I want to say something, but before we get to this second segment, we want to say thank you for staying with us. Please state your mind, comment. This is the time for us to have a very good rapport. If you are a well-meaning Nigerian, a well-meaning African, that this topic concerns you, you know, say something, let's discuss, let's share thoughts, and you know, somebody else is in the comment section might also learn from you. Thank you so much for staying with us. Share your thoughts. If you are new to this channel, please like the button. We'll be right back. Thank you.